Forest cover laws on indigenous and community lands in Mindanao.
Bukidnon is a province in the Philippines situated in the northern Mindanao region, occupying the northern central section of Mindanao. Its capital is the city of Malaybalay. The province has a land area of 10,498.59 square kilometers or 4,053.53 square miles. San Fernando is a municipality in the landlocked province of Bukidnon. The municipality has a land area of 705.6 square kilometers or 272.23 square miles, which constitutes 6.72% of Bukidnon's total area. Its population as determined by the 2020 census was 63,045. This represented 4.9% of the total population of Bukidnon province, or 1.26% of the overall population of the northern Mindanao region. The objectives. First, to map out the area of forest cover laws on indigenous and community lands of San Fernando, Bukidnon. Second, to examine and investigate the area with application of software analysis. Third, to determine how indigenous community affects the forest cover laws or if it has effect. The materials and methods. First, we use Global Forest Watch, which is an online platform that provides data and tools for monitoring forests. Second, we use Landmark, which is the global platform of indigenous and community lands displays georeference information on collectively held and used lands worldwide. And third, we use Google Earth, which is a geo-browser that accesses satellite and aerial imagery, topography, ocean bathymetry, and other geographic data.
Results and discussion. In 2010, San Fernando had 34.1 kHA of natural forest extending over 62% of its land area. In 2020, it lost 173 HA of natural forest equivalent to 95.6 KT or CO2 of emissions. Parameters. Primary forest loss. From 2001 to 2020, San Fernando lost 428 HA of humid primary forest, making up 13% of its total free cover loss in the same time period. Total area of humid primary forest in San Fernando decreased by 3.3% in this time period. Forest loss including that of the secondary. Tree cover loss in San Fernando, Bukidnon, Philippines from 2001 to 2020. San Fernando lost 3.31 kHA of tree cover, equivalent to a 9.0% decrease in tree cover since 2000, and 1.81 MT of carbon dioxide emissions. Forest gain. Tree cover gain in San Fernando, Bukidnon, Philippines compared to other areas. From 2001 to 2012, San Fernando gained 403 HA of tree cover, region-wide equal to 7.9% of all tree cover gain in Bukidnon. Tree cover in San Fernando, Bukidnon, Philippines as of 2000. 65% of San Fernando was natural forest cover. Forest net change. Sum of forest loss and forest gain. 403 HA plus 3.31 kHA is equals to 399.69 HA. Indigenous people are leaders in protecting carbon and biodiversity strongholds. The relationships of local and indigenous cultures to the forest is holistic. The local indigenous people relates to the forest socially, economically, politically, and spiritually. If the forest is destroyed, the cultures of the local people die. Local people cannot be isolated from the forest because their isolation from the forest is a critical step, not only towards the destruction of their identity and survival as people, but also towards the destruction of the forest itself. Culture does not only provide identity to people, it is also a tool that enables the people to survive for generations amidst adverse conditions and circumstances. The value of the forest is determined by its capability to promote the survival of people. In the Philippines, the right of indigenous culture communities to ancestral lands and domains within protected areas and natural parks were duly recognized by law. Section 44 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of the National Integrated Protected Areas System, or NIPAS, Act of 1992 provides that ancestral domains and other customary rights and interests of indigenous communities shall be accorded due to recognition in protected areas. Moreover, the preservation of ancestral domain and customary rights within the protected areas shall be a management objective. Conclusion and recommendation. The views of the local and indigenous people regarding the forest as a source of life is holistic. It involves the elements of nature that specifically relate to the social, political, economic, and spiritual aspect of life of the people. Its implication is global because it relates to the common and universal foundation of life, regardless of race, color, and status. Considering the significant relationships of local cultures to the forest, the active participation of the local people in sustainable forest management is necessary.